I need you to look at this thing very carefully for a second, because from a distance, this looks like a real bald eagle. White head, yellow beak, brown and tan feathered wings spread out wide in full flight posture. But it is not real, it is entirely a machine. This is the Gogo Bird Eagle 1050, a bionic flapping wing drone with a built-in GPS flight controller, and today we are unboxing it, assembling it piece by piece and taking it out for its first flights. If you have never seen an ornithopter fly before, get ready, because this is genuinely one of the strangest and most impressive things I have flown on this channel. There is something almost unsettling about watching a machine flap real feathers through the air, and that reaction is exactly why this product exists in the first place. Let me explain what an ornithopter actually is before we open this case, because it matters for understanding why this product is different from every other drone you have seen. Standard drones use spinning propellers to generate lift and thrust. An ornithopter does not use propellers at all. It generates lift by physically flapping its wings, the same way a real bird does. This is a genuinely difficult engineering problem to solve, well replicating the complex up and down, twisting motion of a real wing beat using small motors and precision mechanical linkages, all while keeping the entire system light enough to actually generate flight. Companies and universities have been researching bionic bird technology for well over 50 years now, going all the way back to early wind-up flapping toys from the mid-20th century and gradually working toward genuinely controllable, electronically powered flapping flight. The Gogo Bird Eagle 1050 represents one of the most refined consumer versions of that research currently available, taking decades of aerodynamic study and packaging it into something you can genuinely fly in your local park this weekend. Here is the hard case it ships in. Right away, this tells you Hanvon, the company behind Gogo Bird, is treating this as a serious product rather than a cheap toy. The case is rigid, padded, and has a proper carrying handle. The box artwork inside shows the eagle in full flight with GPS and Bluetooth icons clearly displayed, along with the model number 1050 front and center. This is the second generation Eagle, an upgrade over the earlier 1010 and 1020 models, with improved stability, more refined wing mechanics, and a smoother overall flying experience, according to Gogo Bird themselves. Comparing photos of the earlier generations against this one, you can genuinely see the design, maturity, the feather detailing is more realistic, and the body proportions are noticeably closer to an actual bald eagle. Opening the case now, inside, everything sits in a custom molded foam. Insert the eagle body, the wing assemblies, the tail mechanism, the physical remote controller, 2 rechargeable lithium batteries, a USB charging cable, and the instruction manual. The modular design means assembly is tool-free. You are not screwing anything together with tiny hardware. Components slide and click into pre-engineered mounting points. Assembly starts with the main body, which houses the flapping mechanism, the electronics, the GPS module, and the battery compartment. The wings attach at dedicated pivot points on either side of the body and lock in with a firm click. Attaching the tail assembly is next, and this is actually one of the most mechanically interesting parts of the whole bird, because the tail is not just decorative. It functions as a stepless rudder, providing precise directional control during flight, similar to how a real bird uses its tail feathers to steer. Total assembly time from opening the case to a fully built bird took us right around 15 minutes. And honestly, most of that time was just admiring the detail on the feather printing, rather than actually struggling with any of the mechanical steps. Every connection point is clearly keyed, so you genuinely cannot assemble a wing on the wrong side or attach the tail backwards, which is a small but important detail for a product a lot of people will be building for the very first time. Before we fly, let us talk about the control system, because the Eagle 1050 gives you 2 completely different ways to fly it. The first is the physical remote controller, a proper joystick setup with dedicated buttons for takeoff, landing, and switching between flight modes. This feels immediately familiar if you have flown any RC aircraft before. The second option is the companion mobile app, which unlocks the more advanced features. Through the app, you get touchscreen flight controls if you prefer that over a physical stick, voice command support for hands-free operation, and most importantly, the full GPS tracking system. Let me walk you through what that GPS system actually does, because this is genuinely the standout feature of the 1050 compared to earlier Bionic bird models. The built-in GPS module gives you real-time location tracking directly in the app, so you always know exactly where your bird is, even if it flies further than expected. The app also automatically records your complete flight path, so after every session you can review exactly where you flew, how high, and for how long. And the feature that genuinely changes the ownership experience is the electronic fence. You set a specific flight radius in the app before takeoff, and if the bird approaches that boundary, the system prevents it from flying beyond it. That single feature solves the single biggest fear anyone has about flying outdoor RC aircraft, which is losing it completely in a tree line or a neighboring property. With GPS and an electronic fence, that fear is essentially eliminated, which honestly makes this feel less like a toy and more like a genuinely thoughtful piece of consumer technology built by people who actually anticipated how real owners would use and worry about this product. Time for the first flight. The launch method on the Eagle 1050 is called throw and go. Built-in sensors detect the throwing motion. The wings begin flapping automatically, and you gently toss the bird forward into its first wing beat. Our first launch attempt worked on literally the first try. The bird's wings caught the air immediately and it climbed away smoothly. Watching this thing fly for the first time is a genuinely different experience from watching a quadcopter. There is no buzzing propeller sound. Instead, you hear and see an actual flapping rhythm, and the flight path has this organic, gliding quality that no propeller drone can replicate. In flat, calm outdoor conditions, the Eagle handled straight flights confidently and smoothly, holding a steady heading without the constant small corrections you often need on a standard quadcopter in light wind. Moving into circling maneuvers using the tail rudder, the turns are wide and graceful rather than tight and aggressive, which makes complete sense given the bird's aerodynamic design philosophy. This is not built for sharp acrobatics. It is built to replicate the soaring, majestic flight pattern of a real eagle, and in that specific goal, it succeeds completely. We also tested fixed height hovering, which the bird handles by adjusting flap frequency and tail angles simultaneously. And while it is not a rock-solid hover like a quadcopter, it holds altitude within a very reasonable band for an ornithopter of this design. Flight time is rated at 15 to 20 minutes per battery, and since the kit includes 2 batteries, you get up to 40 minutes of total flying across a single outdoor session. That is a genuinely solid runtime for this category of RC aircraft, and swapping batteries takes under a minute since the compartment is designed for quick access. So here is the honest final verdict on the GoGo Bird Eagle 1050. If you are looking for a standard RC drone that races and does flips, this is absolutely not that product, and you should look elsewhere. But if you want something genuinely unique, something that generates a completely different reaction from onlookers than any quadcopter ever will, something that combines serious bionic engineering with practical modern GPS safety features, the Eagle 1050 delivers an experience unlike anything else in the RC hobby space. The build quality justifies the price. The GPS and electronic fence system genuinely solve real ownership problems. And watching this thing soar overhead with those wings actually flapping never stopped feeling slightly unbelievable, even after multiple flights across this entire testing session. Links to check current pricing are in the description below. If this video convinced you that flapping wing drones are genuinely worth your attention, hit the like button, drop a comment telling me if you think real wild birds would actually chase this thing out of the sky, and subscribe for more unique RC unboxings and honest flight tests every single week. See you at the flying field for the next one.